when the world's too dark of a place to be, and you need an escape from reality. Open up those pages, it's sci-fi or fantasy, whatever genre you please. And join a book club, 'cause you won't read it on your own. Join a book club, so you'll be held accountable. It's just a means to an end, but you're doing it with your friends, so join the book club by DLC.
Hello there, book clubbers. I'm dancing a little slower this morning. I got a pretty nasty cold going on, a lot of congestion. Apologies if my voice is raspy, if I have to sneeze or blow my nose in the middle. It's not great, but I'm here. I'm excited. We're getting there. I'm Jeff Cannata. I'm here with Lana Bachynski. Hello, Lana.
Hello, good morning. I'm here just floating in my void.
Yes, in
floating
the white
around.
nothingness.
I might sound a little different today. Anybody who's just listening, I am in LA, and so I'm at the office, and they've got much better internet than my hotel. So here we are, Void Town.
Lana summoned a Warren.
Yeah. This is the creative experience. It's basically the Matrix.
We're all Lane right there.
Yeah.
Hey, so first thing we need to talk about, ladies and gentlemen, is the schedule going forward, because obviously, thank you so much for bearing with us on Thanksgiving. We weren't here last week, Thanksgiving. What is this, 2.5 years that we've been doing Malazan? We are at the finish line. This week, we're doing, 21, 22. There's only 2 more chapters left. They're huge. This is it. We've reached the finish line of our 10-book journey. We want to do this right, and it just is crazy to me that 2.5 years, it just happened to work out that it's landing in the middle of the holiday season, which is crazy for our lives. So here's the problem that we're facing is I'm going to be traveling. There's, family stuff happening. It's just chaos at this time of year. We usually record the shows on Thursdays, put the shows out on Thursdays. A couple of Thursdays are Christmas Day and New Year's Day coming up. So I'm traveling next week. The thing I'm trying to tell you folks through my addled, sick brain, and more sick than usual, is that the release schedule is going to be a little wonky. We talked about maybe just pausing here and waiting all the way until January. We don't want to do that because we're at the end. We know that you're excited to get to the end. We're excited to get to the end. We don't want to just go completely silent for 3 weeks. But there may be sporadic recordings. We're going to try to get at least one more episode out before Christmas or right around Christmas. And then maybe sort of do the final Malazan stuff. And we want to do a lot of content around the end. We're going to do a whole retrospective on the whole series. We're going to do a lot of stuff. That's the plan, at least, sort of into January. But we're just asking for your patience and bearing with us. I apologize that this is sort of happening at this time, but we're not going to have the cadence that we've established over the last 2.5 years of every Thursday. It's just not possible right now. And it sucks that it happens right here at the last few chapters of the last book of this journey. But, it is what it is.
It is what it is. But I do think what we're going to get from this, hopefully, is, I'm not going to have work encroaching and crunching our episodes really short. Hopefully we'll be able to fully talk about things. There's been times in the past we've talked about like rereading a chapter before the thing. This might give us time to do the reread of the chapter because the chapter's pretty dang huge. So like Jeff said, thank you so much for your excitement around this and bearing with us. We are going to try not to torture you and try not to torture ourselves with withholding the end of this book. But Jeff has 1 million other shows and, dependents to take care of, and just a lot of travel and holiday stuff, as I'm sure all of you have as well. So we'll be really excited to get you what we can get you whenever we can get it to you. Thanks for being with us.
I mean, the takeaway here is we don't want to give short shrift to this, climactic ending. We've arrived. We did it. We're here at the end of book 10, and we don't want to give it short shrift. So, subscribe to the channel, get into the Discord, 5x5 DLC on Discord, into our book club thread there. announcements will happen there. People are great. They post the episodes when they come. You'll see the new episode arrive if you're subscribed. So, there's ways to know when things are happening, but I apologize. It's just not going to happen in our usual cadence. Okay. We've belabored that point long enough, but wanted to be clear with everybody. We love you, and we love these books.
Sorry.
And we don't want this to be rushed or any of that. Okay. Yeah. So we usually have a non-spoiler topic in this space, but I'm just going to read an email that we got today, because I love this email and I think it's lovely, and we can just go right into talking about chapters 21 and 22 afterwards. This was sent to us at dlcfeedback@gmail.com. If you'd like to send us topics to talk about or suggestions for what's next or anything that you'd like us to know, we love hearing from you, dlcfeedback@gmail.com. This email comes from Joe. And it's a lovely email. It's kind of long. He says, apologies in advance. This will be a long one. I'm just going to get it out there, and hopefully I won't bore you both to tears. I recently discovered your channel. I've been avidly going through your videos. Just wanted to send a genuine thank you. Oh, thank you, Joe. I just finished my first reread about 2 months ago. And yes, they're even better on reread. But I was still hungry for more. Landing on your content for that fix has been an utter joy. There are so many profound moments in these books, but as you often point out, comedy as well. And to hear your analysis peppered with joy and laughter creates an entirely fresh lens to view the books through. Pardon me. And with that, I have a few thoughts, some of which come as answers to questions you ask during the videos. Others are just my own observations. I've struggled to share these books, as many of my friends just aren't much into fantasy. I try to explain that the themes go way beyond those tropes. The books, in my estimation, are profound. That's the word I use. And people are skeptical that a fantasy book can do that. But you just have to be open to being moved by a piece of art, a concept, an idea. That's what these books are. Epics, tragedies, comedies, all of it. They ask tough questions and give tough answers, often in thoughtful and delicate ways. And to be fair, I've never quite experienced this kind of depth or discussion in fictional books before. And Jeff, yes, he's ruined it for everyone, set the bar too high. Occasionally, you both will discuss your rankings of the books. Oh, I should say, there are some spoilers in here coming up. So if you're here for the non-spoiler section, there will be spoilers for Malazan. I'm currently at the beginning of the Bone Hunters videos. This is super tricky for me. At the point I'm at with your videos, the consensus for both of you is that Midnight Tides is the best. And there is some confusion about why House of Chains is generally lower ranked. For me, I've realized rankings are based on where I was as a person, what was influencing my life when I read the books. I read Gardens of the Moon and thought, this is nice, I'll keep going. I wasn't prepared at all for Dead House Gates and The Chain of Dogs. That's when I knew I was onto something special. Then I got to Memories of Ice, and it changed me. It's likely that will always be my favorite. It is the best literary piece. Is it the best literary piece in the series? Probably not. I think Midnight Tides might be the best book of the bunch from that standpoint. But Memories of Ice connected on a deeply personal level. Whiskey Jack's death shocked me. Not the same as Coltane, which made me sad and angry at the same time. But like Lana, I was in utter disbelief. Getting to see the quiet moments between Whiskey Jack and Rake and Corlat were wonderful. I was sad to see that end. I felt like I lost a loved one. However, there's something else in that book that reaches the absolute core of who I am. You see, excuse me, I too have children, 2 boys that I love dearly. Both of them have special needs. Now they're both in their 20s and very highly functional. From that standpoint, we are extraordinarily fortunate. But let me tell you, it's been a long road with challenges that nearly broke me in ways I can't even articulate. Which brings me to Itkovian. There were so many moments of doubt and pain and suffering as the boys were growing, and oftentimes I'd be sitting alone at night just thinking that if I had this, just wondering if I had the strength for this. And that's when I discovered the books in the first place. I know Erikson has pointed to Itkovian giving freely of himself and what that means, what a shield anvil means. But the beauty of the writing is that there are so many layers to peel away. and different meanings. And when I was at my lowest, all I heard in my head was, I'm not yet done. There's more to do, more to give. Take another step forward. You are not yet done. Whether readers realize it or not, their own life experiences will define their best book. Ultimately, it doesn't matter. It's the best journey, all of it. But that's why Memories of Ice stands out for me. It was just the right thing at the right time and moved me in a way I didn't expect, and it still does. Okay, time to put that away before I start crying. I know you guys aren't done with the series yet, but I'm hoping once you are, you'll do one or two wrap-up shows. Talk about what themes impacted you the most, what moments, what characters did you connect to, and why. Describe your journey through the books in aggregate now that you're done. I suspect it will be enriching for the audience, but also for you both. Indeed, we plan to do just that. That's exactly what we were talking about. Finally, upon listening to you both recite powerful sentences or paragraphs, I was able to rediscover so many wonderful moments, but this has been near the top. If I knew today was a day for killing gods, I would have paced myself. I am not yet done, except that I am. Thank you both for taking this journey through the books. It has been such a joyous experience to listen to you both along the way. Looking forward to seeing how you guys feel when it's done. Best regards, Joe.
Joe. Oh, I get it. Is that second one? I'm like, oh no, I'm going to cry listening to your email that I don't even know if I'll be able to get this episode. They'll be like, it's really nice of you to share with us, Joe. But that is really beautiful. And I haven't thought about it that way at all of like trying to be like objectively, these are like the ones that are my favorite. I guess it's not objectively my favorite, but thinking about why exactly they're my favorite and like what those connection points are, I so value you sharing that with us. And I do feel like when we do a look back over the whole series, looking at my list of the rankings of which book it is versus my personal journey, I think that my list might shift a little based upon, not even just the books, but the joy of our conversation, Jeff, and like where we are and how we experience it together. I feel like there's been some really special times here, and getting emails like this is just another very special thing about this. So thank you so much for sharing.
Yeah, I totally agree. And I think it's going to be hard to come up with a ranking of the books, and not even that's very important, right? Because it's all almost like, they all kind of mash together in my head because we read them back to back, and it's just one big long journey, and it feels like it's all of it together, and how special it's all been. But thank you, Joe, and I've mentioned before that my daughter is autistic, and you pointing out that not yet done line is particularly resonant for me. It can be extremely difficult, and you feel like, oh my God, I can't do this anymore. It's not possible to keep going. And having these literary characters sort of express things that you felt deep down inside you and find strength in themselves, it does, art matters. That's what I truly believe. Art matters.
Yeah.
Art helps contextualize. It helps reframe. It helps, you find your way through things. But at least I do through art. So
yeah.
I thought it was a beautiful sentiment that I wanted to read out in full on the show.
Thank you.
All right. Even though I'm barely able to read anything with my face and voice.
Hit me with the guide. I'll first time single monitor. Run us through.
I know. I was tempted. I was like, I should have just forwarded this email. A third of the way through, I was like, I should have let Lana read this.
No, I'd be such a crybaby. I really have like such a spike so quickly when I'm like, oh my gosh, this is very touching. And then I can like get it together. But that initial spike makes it so. You don't ask me to give a sentimental speech. It'll be just frog croaks.
All right, here we go. Chapters 21 and 22. Spoilers starting now. We start with our old pal Cotillion. He's kind of thinking about Edgewalker, who said, even when you finish this, everyone's going to say you failed, buddy. Even if you succeed beyond all measure, beyond all expectation, it's, I feel like Erikson's like, hey, we're getting to the end here, but again, I fully understand. You guys might be disappointed with what's coming. Very funny. But he also is thinking about this plan that he and Shadow Throne put into play however long ago, and all of its crazy permutations, and he doesn't think of it as a sure bet. He thinks of it like they went out on a limb, and he says so much of it is out of our hands.
Yeah, it's a gamble. It's they've been spending all this time setting up an insane Rube Goldberg machine, and however long ago they flicked down a domino, and they're like, I don't know, are we going to turn on the toaster at the end of this thing? It's interesting.
I love the idea that we've seen them as these grand manipulators and puppet masters, and popping in here and there, and they have kind of a confident. We knew that was going to happen. We know, but here comes the end, and Cotillion's like, "Welp, we'll
fingers
see."
Crossed.
Yeah, well, knives crossed, really, because he reaches for his knife, which I think is foreshadowing in a way that I'm not yet aware of. I don't know what it's foreshadowing, but it feels like every time he thinks about it, obviously he's the god of assassins, but I think there's something very, very particular about him going, well, I got to grab my knives.
Yeah, for the god of assassins, we haven't actually seen him do a lot of killing personally.
Yeah. Well, he
infuses other people with the will to assassinate.
Yes. All right. So the next scene is Shadow Throne having a convo with someone who isn't specifically named, but I think it's the Crippled God.
That was my impression as well.
Yeah.
And I think it's from the perspective of the Crippled God, though.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes. But we know it's Shadow Throne because of his silver cane.
Because of his whole...
Yeah, his whole
everything.
All of it. Yeah, the giggles, Here I am. But this is, I think this is kind of a bittersweet connection that they have here, where we have yet another moment where I think the reader is invited to feel compassion for the Crippled God, and this notion of, even if you guys succeed in freeing me, it's gonna be bad for me. They're probably gonna bleed me when I get back to the world, and take, he says emasculate me, which is such a particular word.
The Crippled God, it's interesting because, now we have all these, people have been talking about him and the compassion they have for him and the situation that he's in. But when he talks, he still has an edge of godly petulance to him.
Yeah.
Where he's still like, this isn't going to be like a cup of tea.
Yeah.
Like, this isn't going to be my best day. And you don't begrudge him his sassy feelings because of all the compassion built up. But before we had all that compassion, we were like, now he's a villain. So like, he still has that in him. And there's like both of these characters who can be like, have been semi-sinister dudes over time are now sort of together. It feels very tenuous, and it's interesting dynamic to see those two characters together.
Oh, totally. I mean, the literally last thing he says is like, so you're not going to betray me, right? And Shadowthrone's like,
I wouldn't betray you today, but when I flicked down the domino however many years ago, that was in betrayal of you. So who knows what the end result will be.
Yeah, well, I think somebody's calling me from the other room.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll totally finish this conversation later. Yeah. So it feels like, even if things go well for the Crippled God, it might not go well for the Crippled God.
Yeah.
Which, not to jump ahead, but I did feel like there's this parallel that Erikson is going to with Carabas, the Ototteral dragon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was just about to say that same thing, where it's like, they're like, I'm free. Oh, I'm being clawed to death.
Yeah. Isn't it great that you freed me? No, it's terrible. Yeah. But also this, like, I didn't ask for this kind of.
Yeah.
It's sad. It's like,
it is.
I am being literally bled in the Crippled God's case. Like, I'm being bled for other people's benefit. It's like the most, it's the most.
I'm either working for you or I am not worth enough to exist. You're either tearing me down slowly for your gain or tearing me down quickly. So there's no gain. It's a no-win. It's a no-win. That's what he's saying. Yeah.
So then we have this absolute tease of a scene that made me so excited when I saw it and so mad when nothing else came of it for a while, which is Karsa Orlong. I've been asking.
I know.
Where we had Karsa Orlong at?
Oh my God.
Karsa Orlong and Picker are having a conversation, and she's like, "Hey, remember how you vowed to kill a god?" And he's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna totally do that. But there's so many gods of war, it's hard to pick which one to kill."
Yeah.
Yeah.
And is Saren the person crying inside, I assume?
I would think so, because that's the only other person he hangs out with, right?
But I'm like, what's going on?
I know.
Why?
I know. And then I'm like, oh, we're definitely getting back to Karsa. No, 2 more chapters, no more Karsa. It's such a tease. It won't be like Karsa Orlong.
He's coming.
But he is coming. Yeah. We're being reminded he's on his way.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So then there's lots of, at least we get lots of our old buddy Gnu's.
Oh,
lots of Perrin.
Good news. Good
news. Good news for everybody. So he's got Ormuligan drawing him a new card on his wood deck, and he's pretty happy with it. Is this where we find out that? No, I think it's later.
That's later.
Find out what the card is. I just loved it. It was such a cool drop. But
it just has such cool powers.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Totally. And I also love that we get a reminder. I don't think it's here, but pretty soon around here, we get a reminder that he still has tummy troubles, little tummy problems.
He's got a little nervous tum-tum.
Yeah. I like that as a characteristic of that character. He's like uber powerful, but oh, my tummy. It's good. So he says, this very ominous line, "The gods have been kicking us around for a long time. When do we say enough?"
Mm-hmm.
Which I feel like is a major theme of Malazan as a whole, is like mortals being like, double middle fingers to you gods, don't mess with the mortals. And I love that power dynamic. I've never really seen that in fantasy before, where the mortals are almost more terrifying to the gods than the gods are to the mortals,
And the teeing up of how they actually do have power, because you could be like, oh, the gods are scared of the mortals, and you'd be like, why? But knowing that their faith is what gives the gods strength, and blah, 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 there actually is a relationship here where they don't have no power, so it's not just empty threats.
Yeah. So then we're sort of at this battle between the Forkula Sail and the host, what was once Dujek's host, and that is now under Ganoiz's leadership. He is now the high fist of this host, filling in for Dujek.
Is this? I know that when he took over for Dujek, it was the host and Gnu's is there, but I feel like this was the first time that it was it's his host, it's Gnu's host.
In
a way
we've
that
sort of had hints of that before, where he's
I knew that he was the guy, but there's something about seeing it on the page just so sort of plainly, that it felt resonant with him stepping into this role and sort of believing in himself more fully, because it felt to me like he was I showed up, I just happened to stumble upon you, and now Dujek died, and now I'm the guy. And now just everything about him, the confidence he has as a character, and then it also just written as Gnu's host so plainly felt like a fulfillment of it. It felt like a reflection of the energy that he had coming into it, with that was radiating off of him, of his confidence in the plans that he is going to execute on. Cool.
He has that moment of really oh man, I can't believe I'm the guy who's the new Dujek. He doesn't feel worthy of that mantle, which I thought was it's a lovely moment of insight with sort of inside his POV. But anyway, this scene we have from the Forkula Sail side, where Sister Belai is man, they bamfed into exist. All the soldiers teleported in, and then they teleported out. I don't know what's going on. Are we going to be strong enough to even repel this? Like, we don't know. We don't even have a sense of how powerful the enemy is. We really get the Forkerless Sail side as being not. And there's some certainly a lot of overconfidence with the Forkerless Sail as we get different POVs, but they all are also not completely immune to the fog of war on their own side. Like they're still trying to figure it out too.
Yeah, it's interesting that like they're not immune to the fog of war, but from the perspective of the people that we see, there is the confidence shield of like, well, I'll just throw more of these bodies that are effectively mindless drones for my word at the problem. It'll be fine.
That tiered system of their, where they have the pures and the watered, and it just feels so that caste system of their culture just feels so unfair. Just like if you have unpure blood, you're just a servant to the pures.
You're like literally able to be manipulated against your will in a way that is like so potent. I also just think it's like, the difference of, my dumb game dev brain of like, well, one is like a water flow workflow and the other is more like a cross-disciplinary, like agile. And we'll see which one has more value.
Yeah, that's funny. Anyway, we had this awesome moment where Quick Ben and Kalam take down a Forkerless Sail.
Just so seeing them in action again, it's like Kalam coming out, and so this is the battle. The Forkerless Sail are like, whatever, they have to come through this choke point.
Yeah.
So set up everything at this choke point, and then we'll see them come through. And then as soon as we start seeing them over whatever the crest is, we'll like put more and more people there so that we can bolster these defenses. But just like keep enough of a lookout that they can't like sprint fast enough through. Ganuz opens up, uses cards to like have everybody walk through the wall simultaneously. So it's not even like two other gates where there's people streaming through. It's like everybody walks through at the same time. So they're like, oh shit. And then behind, shoot.
That's okay. That's fine.
And then behind the wall, just a shadow. It feels like Watered and Forkerless Sail are just falling. Just daggers through their chest, long knives through their chest, and then peeling out again. Because the pairing of Quick Ben keeping Kalam invisible as they scamper through all the things. The Pure, which is brother, whatever his name is.
Yeah.
Brother, some kind of beautiful name
I don't have
that
it
is
in front of me. Yeah.
He is like, an assassin, this is crazy, there's no way you will bend to my word, and starts like using his words, being like, stop running, whatever he says. And then it's that Quick Ben who's like stumbling and falling, and he's getting up to him. He's like, I'm gonna see the look in his eyes. So even if like whatever's happening to these Watereds down there, whatever's happening to these Shriven, like who cares about them, I'm gonna get this guy and I'm gonna see the light leave his eyes. It's gonna be so good. And then he gets up to Quick Ben, and Quick Ben's like, gotcha. And he's like, what? And then the double stab through the chest. It's so awesome.
Yeah.
It's so great. And then he's like dying while they're like, dude, that was like really close. Like, see, like that, like little banter between them that the Forkerless Sail witnesses as he's dying. And of course, Kalam was like, you dropped the shield, so I had my Atotaro blade. And the guy's like, Atotaro? Idiots.
You fool. Yeah. And as he dies, just is so rad. The pairing, that sort of classic fantasy pairing of the wizard and the assassin is just so satisfying here. And how they're just like marching through, and the wizard just like being the support class, to Kalam just slicing and dicing fools. So rad.
Also something that I think it comes up later, but very notable that in this scene, it's described as the blades came up through the chest, through both of the hearts of the Forkerless Sail. Like it's explicitly called out that he's like doing these like double stabs, which is important for like a later scene where it's described as like very cool. And I'm like, wow, he really knows how to get him. But then later you learn it was just flair.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that part was like, they have 2 hearts? What? Information I could have used yesterday.
But it seemed like he should have known because he'd been doing it.
Yeah.
So funny. It's
So
so good.
Yeah.
My boys are back together. The band's back together, and it's
really
delightful.
fun. Delightful is a great word. So then we're back to Perrin, who is telling the army, like, okay, hey, we did a good job, but it's time to march hard south. We got to get somewhere. And Quickben is like, hey, man, do you feel that wacky feeling to the south west? And he's like, oh, yeah. What is it? He's like, maybe I know, maybe you don't. And they're both like, you never tell me anything. He's like, you never tell me anything. And the reader is like, you both never tell us anything.
Yeah. Is this the scene they have where Quickben's like, you think it's stuff for you? I got 12 guys inside me.
This might be that. Yeah, it's so great. Where he's like, and some of them are old. He's like, whatever internal monologue you've got, I've got 12x that, buddy.
You want to be talking about like your self-doubt or like, I think it's self-doubt. I forget the context of exactly what they're talking about, but Quickben just sort of, I feel like in the past it was something that people were like, ooh, the legend of Quickben. We heard he killed 12 people and took their souls. And you're like, is that true? I don't know. And the Quickben's like, yeah. There's 12 guys up here.
They're all in me. I got a whole dozen up in here. Yeah. Very funny. But they also kind of do this reminiscing about like, oh, hey, we were all the soldiers of the emperor. He's like, well, you were a kid when the emperor ruled. He's like, yeah, but still. Yeah. I thought that was cool. There's a lot of, in this chapter, there's a lot of like looking back, reminding the reader how far we've come, like, and I love that stuff, especially in a final book, Anyway, so the best part of this conversation is he's like, well, what's the worst that can happen? He's like, you really want me to tell you the worst that can happen? All right. So basically all humanity gets wiped out. No human child is ever born again. All of humankind is slaughtered. But that's not the worst. The elder gods free the Ototral dragon, and all magic is annihilated. And life, which I loved, such an awesome little point. Life is magic. Like the idea of life is magic.
Yeah.
It's such a beautiful, I love that notion. And they're like, but the other option, that's if the Ototral dragon is killed by the Elent. But if all them dragons, if he kills all or she kills all the dragons instead, it's also very bad. Like everything is bad. Oh, BT Dubs, Burn is also dying. I went down and visited, and
they're like, oh yeah, I could feel that. I felt that something's bad. Yeah.
So like, what should we do about it? And Perrin's like, I thought you were gonna tell me what we should do about it. I came to you for the plan. I was like, oh no, I came to you for the plan. So well, what's your sister doing? He's like, I have no idea what my sister is doing.
He's like, you can't see her either. Dang it.
Such an awesome scene.
I thought that was just a me thing. And it's like, she got that blade, dude. And they're like,
It's so great. It's so great because he's like, all right, let me just list off all the people that are converging where we're going. And he's like, Draconis, the first sword of the Telanamos, Alarathiel, Silchus Ruin, Tulis Shorn, Kalava, even Gruntle, because they don't know Gruntle's dead.
Yeah.
The Elent, the Elder Gods, the Errant, who's the former master of the tiles, Kilimandaros, her son. Like, it's so great where it's like, Erikson's just like, look at all these pieces I put on the chessboard, everybody. Are you impressed? As I am.
I'm like impressed that I read all the names and I'm like, I remember who they all are.
Yeah.
I know them all.
And then Quickben's like, oh, you forgot a few. He's like, what about the Kachain Shamael, the Jagged, Hood?
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot going on.
Yeah.
Just, hey, buckle up, reader.
I almost feel like this is Erikson being like, you think you got a lot? I got 1,000 guys up here. He's
so
quick betting
great.
himself.
So satisfying as somebody who's read, you know, what like we're like 9,000 pages in right now, you know, to be like, hey, BT Dubs, there's a lot going on. It's just very satisfying to be reminded of that and being like, okay, here we go. Last quarter of the book coming up.
Mm-hmm.
And then the way they get through this is like, who do we have confidence in? And it's such an awesome moment where parents like, well, when my sister was 5, Dad started like testing her on military battles. Yeah. And then he started inviting military leaders to the house to see if she could take them down. And she creamed all of them.
And then she started taking the losing side in the battles.
So
she beat the Kobayashi Maru, is what I'm hearing.
That's exactly right. She beat the Kobayashi Maru, 100%. Yes.
And not like in a Kirky way. Okay.
Yeah, not in a lame, I'm biting the apple. No. And the awesome part too is that he's like Decimultor, Coltane, Kaz, Dujek, Greymane, all the greatest military leaders. I take her over any of them. In fact, I take her over all of them combined. Mm-hmm. It's just such a great way to elevate a character. It's so great.
It's also interesting to like see the respect of like this family who we've never seen them speak.
Yeah, right. In the same place at the same time.
Yeah.
And on the other side, they're like, who's the greatest bridge burner of all time? You know, who's the one that you would take? Who's above all of them? Who's the toughest?
And they're like, don't think about your faves.
Yeah.
Don't think about like the people that you like and that you got along with. Who is the toughest one? And he's like, well, Fiddler, duh. And I'm like, yeah. Fiddler, duh. Also one my fave, though. Count it.
And this recurring notion that like Whiskey Jack and all the bros are now in charge of, you know, Hood's realm. So they're the gatekeepers of death, and they sent Hedge back to hang out with Fiddler. It's got to be something to that.
They're like, seems important. And we're like, yeah, seems important. That's as far as I got, too.
It's such a great thing. And then they're like, well, guess we're going to bring it all to an end. And I'm like, I know. I'm so excited. It's just an awesome, like, table setting scene of like, okay, let's all get on the same page here. Because I don't know when you read those last books, but let's just all be aware of what's happening. Let's frame it.
Even especially where it's like, we just did like a badass battle. That's like a glimpse at a future battle. Being like, here's what Gnu's can do.
Yeah.
Here's the list of all the other people that can do some cool stuff too.
Yeah. Yeah. And then we cut over to the, domestic bliss that Kalam is in with Manala. And she's like, you're not allowed to go out with your bros. Your best friend, your drinking buddy, the wizard with 12 souls inside him. He's going to get you killed, buddy. No, I do not like it. You guys are all arrogant, insufferable. He's like, well, we've survived all this stuff so far. And she's like, ugh, I'm tired of you idiots. You narcissists. Yeah. He's like, yeah, but we earned it.
We earned our narcissism.
Yeah. So good. Mm-hmm. And she says, he's like, why are you even here with me? And she's like, well, I couldn't look at Shadowthrone's children, those that survived. I couldn't look them in the eye. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I also love that she's like, Quick Ben's going to get you killed. And then later on, either in this chapter or the next one, when it turns out to be true, and he gets so pissed at Quick Ben because he's like, you're going to get me killed. It's like, yep, your wife was right, as wives always are.
I did not make that connection, but that's very funny.
So good. Yeah. All right. So then we're back to the other side of this battle, the Forkland Sail and the Greyhelms, the Sergeant Erikala, who this Brother Serenity is the word you were looking for.
Serenity.
Yes.
Serenity
now. So Brother Serenity and Erikala have this awesome conversation. So dark, so disturbing about where the Greyhelms, fanaticism, how it's so deeply entrenched that he's basically like, we're all gonna die. That's the whole point. Mm-hmm. We're all gonna die. We're prepared for that. And
he's like, no, we forced you. And he's like,
yeah,
no, you did. I mean, you can feel that way if you want to, but you
Yeah.
didn't have to. We would have done this anyway.
yeah,
Also, if he's talking to Brother Sidney, that's not the first Pure that dies. I forget who the first Pure that
Yeah.
dies in, but no
somebody
matter.
else. Yeah.
Yeah. I loved that. They're like, yeah, we follow these wolves of winter, and like the whole. I don't remember if it was Ericala who points this out, or if it's later in a scene where I think we briefly touch base with Tana Kalian. I could be Gracie, but talking about how the wolves of winter. It's like, no, you don't care. We're fanatics, and we don't care about. Like the point about the wolves is they've never understood worship because they don't understand it as a concept. They're wild beings. So
Yeah.
even worshiping them and praising them, like that doesn't matter. What
Yeah.
matters is life and death and like fighting or not,
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah.
I really liked sort of how they're primed on being not aimless is the wrong word, but they're not gods in the sense that they can't have that same manipulative relationship as other ones because they don't understand it as a concept because they're animals.
Yeah. I love that too. And this notion that we're going to war to balance the sides to make it so that it's mutually assured destruction.
Yeah.
That the whole point is that both sides get wiped out.
Mhm.
So we're here to make sure that one side can't win. We don't care. We're not like on your side. We're on the side of everybody loses.
Yeah.
So that the beasts can win,
Yeah.
Crazy. And there's a lot of discussion in this chapter about fanaticism, and man, it resonates that like on the world stage.
Yeah.
That is the scariest thing when there are combatants who do not value their own well-being.
Mm-hmm.
How do you combat that?
They believe that their value is in serving only something else to the furthest extent of their ability, which can be giving up their mortal coil.
There's no when winning for them is their own death. How do you negotiate with that? How do you reach any kind of equilibrium with that? You can't.
Mm-hmm.
It's a terrifying notion. And then we have Sister Reverence, who is walking around, kind of taking an assessment of how many people they have in the army, what they have. And I think from her perspective, I love how Erikson continues to give us nuance even within the factions, because she still feels like, man, this is not good. This is not going well. This is not, I don't think we should be doing this. Like, even if we succeed, she's like, we got to protect the heart of the crippled God. And if we fail in this, we have to destroy it, because we're not going to be able to we may not be able to withstand the battle. Like, I don't have 100% confidence in us, and things could get very, very bad. Like, I like her level of doubt. Like, we come from a scene of like everybody dying, good, when she's like, no, we may be walking into oblivion here, and I don't want all these people to die.
Mm-hmm. But even the like sort of quote unquote fail safe that she sort of walks through, where to me this was like another kind of, I mean, we saw the crippled God reflection of Carabbas and those two things, but it feels like even this is sort of putting that upon everybody else, where it's like, if we can't have it, nobody can. But if they have it, it's bad for everybody. But if nobody can have it, it's also bad. Like, it's another like no win. We're sort of setting up no win situations back to back to back in these different things that are all converging into a conversion.
Yeah. Oh man. And the way that this conversation that she has with Brother Diligence, where she's like, this is not good. And he's like, well, I did read this old Jagged text by Gothos that said, in a war between fanatics and skeptics, the fanatics win every time. Which I thought was such a great line.
So
and she's
good.
like, whoa, 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 whoa. We're not fanatics. Our cause is just. You can't be fanatic when your cause is. We're just going to give justice to the whole world.
I perceived it as kind of, and I might be also just mixing two scenes here. I feel like she's sitting in a space where she's being incredibly righteous about their cause, like you're
Yes.
pointing out. But I thought that they were having like an interesting conversation, and then Brother Diligence seems like he was like stepping too far into like thinking harder about the problem space, having like read other things.
He was giving
and to
due
me,
diligence, perhaps?
he was doing his due diligence and doing some reading. And to me, that seemed like it was justifying somebody else's cause. That was justifying the parish's cause. And so she was like, you got to burn those books right now. I don't want anything
so great.
that is, hey, buddy, so cool that you read that. Never say that again. Burn the books right now. Like to me, that seemed like it was dismantling their cause, but not just dismantling like what they were trying to, not dismantling, but like going against what they were trying to feel and bring about, but also bolstering that of people they're trying to control.
Well, yes, but to me, that is what's so delicious about that as a reader is the hypocrisy.
Yeah.
Which is like, what do fanatics do? They destroy the books that disagree with them.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
She's like, no. Burn all that. Like, well, wait, we're not the fanatics here. We're not fanatics.
I'm not fanatical. I just don't want anybody to think any differently than the things I think are the most important things.
That's right. We are just the reason we're not fanatical is because we adhere to an ideal that is untouchable and cannot be questioned. And if anything questions it, you burn that thing. Not fanatics, QED, Just love the hypocrisy is just so wonderful.
Yeah.
So beautifully illustrated. So then we have Stormy and Gessler who are like spying on the parish, trying to figure out like why they don't know that we're here. Like, have they not noticed that we've been following them? That's weird. But I also love how much misunderstanding. One of the things that I have learned in reading Erikson is how much fun it is for a reader when the characters themselves are wrong about things. Like, I don't know that I've read other works that lean into that as much, of having these sort of, information gaps between characters and a character being like, dude, Krugava totally betrayed us. And we're like, well, no, we know as readers that she absolutely did not. But it's super fun when they don't know that.
Yeah.
They have no way of knowing that,
Mm-hmm.
So super cool.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. But I mean, what they're watching.
There's a couple times in this. I mean, yeah, it was them being like, Grunsel's going to be there.
Yeah.
It's like,
yep.
No, he's not. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody take an assessment of who's still on the board, and it's like, well, we know some people aren't on the board anymore. Yeah, super good. But also, what they're watching is dark because they're literally seeing
Tana Kalian ordering people to have their like beheadings of people.
Yep.
Which is brutal.
And we find out that it's just because they were like, should we be walking this fast? Literally, that's all they said was like, this feels a little extreme for us to be walking this fast. He's like, you die. He's all die.
So you're saying that you love Krugava more than me.
That's right.
Off with their heads energy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So dark. But it's like another reinforcement of that fanaticism of like, you question us even the most insignificant amount, you literally will die. Cut your head off for the tiniest bit of,
And then as Stormy and Gessler are watching, somebody at Sitok comes up and he sees them like having a conversation that later she's like, you can't just be killing people. And he's like, shut up.
Yeah. So the next scene, we literally get Sitok feeling the wolves like angry inside her. And then she gets into this argument with Tana Kalian, and it's so great because Tana Kalian is such a little worm when she just systematically takes him down. It's so great. She walks up and the first thing she thinks is he has treachery in his heart.
Yeah.
Which is so good. But then she's like, what are you trying to do, you idiot? And he's like, well, but I'm just trying to make it so, your wolves will be, what What if the Kachane Shemales show up? She's like, we're not gonna fight the Kachane. They're beasts too. We don't have any ill will against them. He's like, oh yeah. She's like, none of your people have any confidence in you. You're just killing them willy-nilly. You idiot. So good.
Willy-nilly.
And when she leaves, she's like, maybe what we should do is just let the Fork of Sail fight the Kachane Shemale. We'll just kind of hang back, step aside, just watch it happen, and then sweep in at the end. Maybe that's what we'll do.
Yeah, we'll see. Like, and especially they're like, we'll just wait until they kind of like fight it out, and then whoever seems like they're weak, we'll finish the job.
Yeah.
Done
and done. All right, so then we check in with Brees Benedict, who is having his little.
He's indulging.
I was gonna say a wet dream. He's underwater walking through. He's underwater in the underwater realm, and he has this. I think this is one of the quotes that I pulled. This meditation on loneliness, and he's kind of contemplating his own death. There's a lot of foreshadowing about Brees not making it. You know, I'm a little worried about old Brees because he's like, I'm gonna die, and then later, Erinic is like, I think he thinks he's gonna die, and I'm like, that's not good. That usually means he's gonna die. Yeah,
there's a lot of tee up for losing this buddy.
But I thought this whole section was beautiful. I think there's a quote in here that I pulled, but he then, he's like, I once knew a man that was super into archaeology.
I know. Who is he? Tell me of who he is. I think I pulled that quote too. I was like, I'm positive I have something in that section, and I think I saw that, and I'm like, highlight immediately.
Yeah. So great. But it's dark. It's a dark notion because the idea here is that this person was finding all these bones all the time. Mm-hmm. And all these creatures that have been wiped out, and was like, what does this all mean? What does this all mean? And the conclusion is, it means nothing.
It's meaningless.
All of it. Meaningless. Yeah. And he's like kind of spiraling into this depression, this despair. And then his brother's like, hey, bro, just wanted to check in, see how you're doing. Everything cool, bro? And he's like, you don't be sad. Tehal, I feel like I'm worried, Lana, as we get into the last quarter, that this is literally the final appearance of Tehal. It's like Erikson throwing us a bone of, well, I'll give you a bit of Tehal, but it's only going to be in a little dream.
But even if it is, I love it. We see like that it is not just the little dream, the little letter, and then the huge act.
Yeah.
And the planning and the foresight. It's like, even if it is, I'm like, that's pretty satisfying to me.
Yeah. There's a reference where Bruce is like, I remember there were swords that laughed when they went to fight. I was like, reference to husk swords.
And don't they say like, oh no, I'm actually I'm conflating it with a comment from the YouTube video where somebody's like, we're giving too much credit for the sword being cool when it's actually Eden's the badass. But no, what they say in this is that isn't that a beautiful sentiment of human defiance, is laughing in the face of death, laughing in the face of battle.
And he lays down this incredible line that I'm totally going to steal for everything, which is surrender is easy, fighting is hard.
Yeah.
I just loved it. I loved it. It's a beautiful scene.
Yeah.
And then he encounters this Teist Idur under there, who we don't get named, and he's holding a lantern, and they hold hands, and he says, "Do you know me? Will you bless me?"
Did you have a thought about who that was?
I do not know.
I only thought, anytime I like Teist Idur, I'm like, anything to get Troll back.
Well, that's what I thought. I mean, the only there's like
They
another
reference
troll.
another.
Yes, there's
Tell
another
me of the Edur with the spear
the
or whatever
spear.
it is.
Yeah, but I was like, I feel like that character is dead, full dead. But I don't know.
think he's dead, but so's Iskarjarak.
Yeah, that's true.
Our
It's
Lord
true.
O'Death could
Yeah.
be, collecting people with
Yeah.
high stats.
Talk the Younger, also dead, but yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, so he wakes up. Reese wakes up, and Erinict is like, "Oh, you had another bad dream, baby," and he's like, "Yeah, all this sucks," and he's like, they're like, "We're do you think the Tavor is still alive?" And she's like, I don't know. I don't know if anybody could pass the glass desert. You can't will the Malazans to do what's impossible. And
isn't he like, I beg to differ, they'll will themselves.
Yeah. Well, they talk about pragmatism and who's a pragmatist. And he's like, everybody thinks Tehol is such a wacko, but he's a pragmatist at heart. Like, you don't get rich by not being a pragmatist. He's like, everybody thought Hull was the only pragmatist, but
yeah, he's basically like, I'm actually the loser.
Yeah.
My brothers were cool.
Classic Brees energy.
Yeah. And then isn't it like almost immediately that they're like, there's a runner here, come outside.
Yeah.
And then I think it swings directly into the scene where we get they've scouted that there's, I think they scouted off the shore that there's like ships, and then this is like a runner from the ship's landing with a letter from Tehol, which I forget if I highlighted it or not. I don't know why I'm like, I loved this so much, but I'm not highlighting it. I think because it's like I'm looking for things that feel more like resonant, but this whole scene is so delightful. I felt
really is
positively gleeful while reading it, of being like, oh, a letter from the king, and he's like, read it aloud, and he's like,
she's like, maybe you might not want to read. Okay, he's doing it already.
He's like, number one.
He's like, did you bang that chick yet?
Don't you sleep together yet? You know who I'm talking about. I'm assuming you sealed the deal.
Yo, bro, what's up? Just dropping you a line to see if you banged that girl yet.
Anyway, bro, continuing to dismantle the rich over here. Anyway, was it good?
So great. So great. Yeah. It's delightful.
The whole letter, obviously, like, just laced with the horndogitude of Tehol, plus the absolute thinking ahead of being like, well, I realize that blah, blah, blah. And at this point in time, cross-reference, you might be here and could be using these things and need this supplies because et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, all the ways I thought ahead. And powerful action, incredible foresight, laced with comedy, and just genuine thoughtfulness and sweetness.
I thought you might need some stuff. I don't know. And I figured out where you might be.
Yeah.
And I also love how later on people are like, was it this massive plan that they conspired together? It's like, no, you just Tehol figured it out.
Yeah.
So
and
great.
then him and Elena is like, anyway, love you, bro.
Yeah.
And then Brees is like so messed up. They're like, ooh, are you like embarrassed? Ooh, are you angry? Like, what is up? And he's like, he said he loved me. He's never said he loved me. And I think that means he thinks I'm going to die.
Yeah.
And if he thinks I'm going to die, look at what he just planned. Look at what he just put together.
Yeah.
He can see far ahead.
He's the smart one. Yeah.
He's the smart one. And if he thinks I'm going to die, then maybe I just will.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Brutal.
And
the way how the inference is just from I love you.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
And I mean, just the scene from being like powerful emotions to, oh, that's so funny, to I know. But it's just like
Erikson is so good at that, of like getting so dark, and then having these moments of levity, and then even finding this sort of bittersweet thing out of the levity. It's masterful. It's so good. All right. So the final scene of the chapter is the parish also get supplied. They also get relief from the forkless sail. And we get some Tanakalian internal monologue of him like, oh man, Setok, I'm going to have to get rid of her. And maybe all of this was a bad idea. It sort of gets to this point of just really being like, all my fanaticism has led me to this, but I really like power and being alive a lot.
I just love that, like, all of his internal dialogue leading up to this, he always had like this righteous edge of being like, nobody knows that I'm actually so cool and so good at this.
Yeah.
And then it always felt like a veneer, but like his internal monologue was still about how he's actually good at things and everybody's misunderstanding him. And now that he actually did successfully do the coup, did take over, and is now just killing people, he's like, well, everybody sucks and I'll kill them too. It's like all of that has fallen away. He's just...
Yeah, he's like, oh, this was a waste. This is a waste. What are we even doing here?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then the scene ends in this awesome way where he's talking to this watered Fork of the Sail, and he's like, you know, do you think those bone hunters are alive? They're probably all dead.
Yeah, and just really quick before, even he's like, can't wait to see these freaks, the Fork of the Sail. And then he's talking to one, and even though he in his mind, he's like, I've heard they're just real freaks. And then he's talking to one that he identifies as not the pure one. Yeah. And even he's like, well, this one's not a pure one. Like, even though he was just like, can't wait to see these people that he's already talking down on, he still like ranks them in the class system and then is like dismissing this one that he's talking to, despite knowing that they're all these powerful beings. Interesting to see his journey there. Sorry.
Yeah.
He's talking to them.
But then he's like, anyway, the Tavor carries a Ototral sword. And he goes, Ototral sword? What? Ototral sword?
And he's like,
Ototral sword?
Is that like bad?
He's like, come back. Yeah. So a lot of foreshadowing about Ototral, and we find out why pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Which is it will summon the Ototral dragon.
Yeah.
All right. Chapter 22.
Chapter 22. I do want to flag. I have a hard out at 10.
Okay. Let's do it. We're
flying.
We're flying. So Calm, haven't seen in a minute, is actually kind of has some internal conflict about the coming of Carabas and what will happen if the Elent don't stop Carabas. And he's like, well, maybe Icarium will avenge the Fork of the Sail. And I'm going to release Icarium. I'm like 3 days away. I'll get there.
It's the last time we saw her, she was like squatting over his body that she'd chained up, being like, sleep tight. And now she's walked away. And then she's like, second thought.
Yeah. Is this where we find out that Icarium, his rage isn't him? It's like him channeling, like he becomes a portal for chaos?
Yeah, this is what they talk about. He is like an outlet for chaos. Awesome.
So rad. So like he goes into this state, but it's not even him anymore. It's just like he becomes this conduit, which is a neat concept, I think.
And she's this is maybe where she's talking about. I think I mixed this up with an earlier scene. There's a lot of little scenes that have similar elements to them, but she's talking about I'll let go of Icarium, and then Icarium and the dragon. If the dragon has survived Carabas, they'll fight each other, and then we can swoop in, and whichever one's weak will kill.
Right. Yeah. So she encounters these two Telanomas on the road. I don't know if we're supposed to know who they are specifically.
I assumed that they were like the two scouts that kind of went ahead. They're like, we can see what he can't. And then they're like, hey, stop it. Oh, no.
Yeah, she totally takes him out, no problemo. She's like, are you seriously going to try to fight me? Because I killed like 40 of your friends. And they're like, we're doing it. And she's like, no, you're not.
And I just love her name being Calm.
I know.
And then
so great.
Not just like handily dismantling them physically, but then staying and then beating their skull till it's dust. Like the antithesis of Calm.
Doesn't she like break the thing that she was beating them with, and then
that breaks the arm, and then she's like, I'll use my foot.
With her boot.
Yeah.
Oh, so great. Pulls off his arm, hits the other one with the like ball joint of the arm until it shatters, and then she's like, I'm not done beating you up. Oh man. Crazy.
Brutal.
Yeah. So then we have the arrival of Draconis to kill Mandaros and Setcholoth. I found this to be, I mean, it elevates Draconis's, threat, his
badass
sort of
level.
Yes. but it feels like an ignominious end for characters that we have seen for a long time that felt like major play. Kilmandaros and Setchel Lath just get killed so fast and so easily.
Yeah.
It's like, whoa. And the way that goes down with Setchel Lath, like, trying to, he's like, his mom, Kilmandaros is his mom, and she's like, come save me. And he's like, I will save you. And Draconis is like, what are you doing? I'm just going to kill you too. And he's like, well, this is what I do. I'm not going to leave him alone. And then when he fails to save her, she's like, my son disappointed me again.
I know.
Oh, brutal.
So sad and just so despicable, that being your last thought, being like, sacrifice yourself for me. Oh, you didn't?
Yeah.
Well, you're pathetic, actually.
Yeah. Oh, can't win. And literally he was there to the bitter end. He didn't even need to try.
Yeah.
So brutal.
Mm-hmm.
But then Shadow Throne shows, I'm here. He's like, hey, Draconis, nicely done on the whole killing of the people. Can I give you just one little quick request?
A little course correction note.
Yeah. Just don't go to Calance and don't kill
the
anybody.
Dragon.
Yeah.
Don't kill the dragon.
Don't kill the dragon.
Kill anybody. Just like chill, dude.
Yeah,
or
bro.
like go over there.
You're doing such a good job. You don't need to do much anything else. Can we? Are we cool? Are we high fives? Are we cool?
It's like, but then it sort of cuts away from their conversation, and is Cotillion there, like observe, like somebody like kind of observes it from a distance?
Draconis leaves, and then Cotillion shows up.
Yeah, that's what it is.
And they have one of my favorite conversations of this whole book so far, where he's like, I could never please my mom. He's like, oh, she always harped on me. And then, I became literally the emperor. And she's like, oh, emperor schmemperor. And I was like, okay, I'll ascend to be a god. And she's like, God schmod, maybe try to do something with your life.
You'll never be elder. You'll never be elder, dude.
The greatest of like mommy issues of nothing is ever good enough for her. I ascended to godhood. And she was still like, yeah, but maybe you should try harder.
But maybe you should call more.
So it's hilarious. Like that, the exaggeration of that, very common thing that we're all aware of. So great. So great.
And isn't Cotillion, he's like, do you think it worked? And Shadowthrone's like, just sort of like everything. Like, maybe.
Yeah, I don't know.
Anyway,
we'll find out.
On to our next domino.
Yeah. And then gods we have not seen since maybe book 2, I want to say, if that.
Yeah.
The twins.
They're like, Daddy.
Yeah.
What should we do, Daddy? There he goes. There he is. Anyway, let's go. I see a coin. Let's go flip it.
Give him a nudge. Such a great.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Such a great.
Using the Aaron's language, being like, ugh, that guy's mean.
Yeah.
Let's go give him a nudge. Love it.
So good. So then we have a scene from Caraboss's POV, who, is trying to escape the Elent that are pursuing her.
And it's tragic again,
yes.
feeling. I think she recognizes the, that life is magic that Quick Ben pointed out. She's like, this is like from her POV. I didn't ask for this. Everywhere I go, I can touch the ground and feel it dying under my feet. I did not even realize how bad it was until I touched down. And now I'm like, everywhere I'm flying, everything I'm doing is destruction. I don't want this. I'm going to fly. They about to chase me down and kill me. What am I supposed to do with this?
I just want to live, man.
Yeah.
I want to be a nice dragon. But the notion of like her flying over the ground and literally underneath, she's like drawing a line of death and decay.
Visceral in my mind visually.
So evocative.
Yeah.
And she's just like, I don't want to be. I didn't ask to be this. I didn't ask to do this. I didn't ask to be born. And I think there's parallels to, as we already pointed out. Which character was it that we pointed out? You just said it.
Crippled God.
Crippled God. Parallels to the Crippled God, but also I think parallels to Draconis, who was restrained and is sort of in purgatory for countless millennia, just the same way as the Autótral Dragon, unleashed now. And it's like these things that have suffered and didn't ask to have to suffer you do feel a little compassion for these characters, even if they're extremely dangerous and could lead to the literal end of everything. Yeah. So then back to Perrin, who are trying to he makes plans with Quick Ben and Callum to they talk about, so they're trying to get through this pass that the parish are holding, and they talk about Tavor and how she gets the loyalty from her followers. And there's this awesome insight that Quick Ben and Kalam are talking, and they're talking about Tavor versus Perrin.
Yeah.
And they're saying like she inspires people by asking. She just asks, and he inspires people by just expecting.
I love that.
Incredible.
And Quick Ben and Kalam were also talking about like, that last battle. Quick Ben was like, that last pure almost killed me, you guys. And Kalam's like, did they? And he's like, well, it hurt a little. And he's like, okay, well, chill out about that.
Did we skip over the fact that he got healed? That already happened, right?
He hasn't done that yet.
That hasn't happened yet.
That's after this one.
Okay, yeah.
There's similarities to these the battles of like just like a bunch of Fork of the Sail that seem kind of impenetrable, and them trying to. Yeah. So I feel like I'm mixing and matching details too. So forgive us, folks.
Yeah.
In this one, he's like, okay, for this time, we can't let the pure stay alive and be like fighting the ranks because they have too much control. If we kill the pure at the top, they in this waterfall, they in their caste system, they'll be too scattered. They won't know what to do. So we got to get in, get the pure or multiple, see what happens, see how many there might be back there. Nix those guys, take them off the battlefield, and then everybody else will be in a really good spot. So I think they're chatting about that, devising the plan. And I don't know if right away they walk over to like Gnu's tent where they set up sort of their fail-safe.
Yeah. Well, before that, they have that conversation where he's like, oh, hey, BT Dubs, Callum, when you pull out your Ototral sword, the dragon is called over here. He's like, what? You idiot. And this is that moment where it's like, my wife told me you were going to kill me, and now you... And he has that whole thing where he's like, Hedge used to carry this grenade around with your face on it, and now I know why. You're a jackass.
And you're so dangerous that if somebody has to be looking at you, and if you're going to do something that's insane that only you will survive from, somebody's got to stop you. Yeah. And I get it. Oh, I get it.
So good. So good.
So I think they're teed up to go on their little buddy duo adventure, but they don't begin it yet.
Correct.
And then I think we swing straight from that into Paran sort of setting up and meeting with the sappers.
Well, we have a scene first with Silchus and Tula Shorn.
Oh, yeah.
Where they're kind of like assessing all of the things that are coming, and they get to a point where they're like, well, what are we going to do about it? Whose side are we going to be on? And they're, I thought it was a beautiful scene of kind of expressing their faith in certain people's, disposition and moral stance. And they're like, I'm going to trust Rake had a plan for this, even though he's dead. And we're going to defend Carabas against the Elent.
Yeah.
Even though it'll probably kill us. So, but like,
and even though the pull of the Elent, it'll be hard to even keep our minds right and not also become mindless and killing the other things.
I just love the thought process of like, all right, let's lay it all out. Who do we trust here? Who do we like? Who do we have faith in?
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of sort of like having faith in people to do the right thing in these chapters.
Yeah. I also like that they're like, Tulis, do you know the Shadow Throne like took your dogs, dude? And he's like, you can see what the dogs are up. The dogs are fine.
Yeah.
He like still is so connected with them, but yeah.
Yeah. So then we pop over to Olar Ethiel and Torrent, and Torrent is just like, man, I love how much this chick is suffering right now. She's freaking out. It's so great. And she's freaking out about Carabas and the Elent battle. She's like, oh, this is going to be bad. Telerast and Curdle have a little moment where they're like, maybe this will be good for us. And they're like wacky interactions, so delightful.
Well, they're like there. Olar's freaking out. Torrent's like, good. And then Telerast and Curdle are like, ah! They just kind of run away, and they're like, whatever, get out of here, you little freaks.
Yeah.
And then they have their interaction of like they're still in their little dinosaur bones body. And they're like, my leg is falling off. And like, is it? Like, I don't know. Keep running. And then they're like, maybe we should just veer for like 1 second though.
Yeah. I
And
know.
I'm like,
It's
oh yeah,
that
that's
sounds like a
not
bad
gonna-
idea. Yeah. So good. Okay, then we have the awesome sequence with Kalam and Quick Ben infiltrating the parish camp, killing Brother Serenity.
Is that and all of that happens even before what's the face meets with the sappers?
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
So I mean, this sequence is awesome. My favorite little tidbit is when Kalam runs up to the two Greyhounds, stabs them, or throws his knives and it hits neck, and runs up and catches the dagger hilts.
To lay them down slowly.
Incredible.
Oh my God.
Such a badass move.
Awesome. There's so many little bits of him being like, and I'm invisible, right?
Yeah.
And I'm invisible though, right? Like,
yeah,
I hope so.
You can't see me.
We're running up to people, so I'm invisible, right?
So this is where he misses the second heart of Forker Lasalle. And, he stabs a heart, and the Forker Lassalle's like, "Yeah, what are you doing?" And breaks his ribs and messes him up. And they manage to blow the place up.
So here's a couple details. Before they go, they're in the tent with Gnu's, and they're like, don't hesitate if you sense something's weird. Gnu's has a painting from of a new card that is the shaved knuckle in the hole.
Shaved knuckle in the hole!
He can use that as he needs to be able to see to them, is connected with them somehow. And then there's like a stick and 2 balls that is on strings. That's whatever it is. Quick Ben uses magic to make Kalam be light enough to hoist himself over a wall and down the other side. They run through, they kill those guards. They get up to the Pure, who doesn't even have 1 sec. They're just like, well, we think he can sense us, so we're just charging the hell in. Misses the hearts. Quick Ben comes in. It's sort of like the last second after Kalam takes a couple good iron-handed chops because their bones, their structure is so tough that he can't like get through. He takes huge damage, breaks ribs. He's like in a really bad spot physically. But Quick Ben comes in and basically Wile E. Coyotes a hole in the ground that the Pure falls through. And then they had like an agreement about they're going to drop a little Moranth munition down there. They're going to drop a sharper just to like really make sure that they blow him up down there. And instead, Quick Ben's like, yippee-ki-yay.
Yes,
mother lover, and drops down the burner instead, which ignites the tent, explodes everything. Like I'm picturing like a chemical bomb goes off, so they're sort of thrown out of the tent that's on fire. Like
it's better than that. He throws up a little force field. So the fire is burning all around them, and he's like, it's like inches from his face. He's like, "Are we safe in here?" He's like, "Yeah, it's cool. Just hang out right here."
And they're in the tent, and everybody is like, the other Forker Lasalle are coming to be like, ha, but they can't see them because they're hidden, and they're also in the fire, and so they have all these people like, must have been the wind, and like walking away from the tent afterwards. And then the fires like burn through a lot of the shield that he puts up, and he's like, we're fine. No, we're still fine. Like dragging him away.
I love how he's like, the fire's burning around them. There's people, burning, and he's like, can we talk in here? He's like, oh yeah, it's cool. They can't hear us.
Yeah.
It's so good.
It's so badass.
Good. Yeah.
Kalam is super hurt, and in that second, they're like, oh, there's a puppy dog spirit here.
Yeah.
Comes by, steps on Kalam's chest, and steps away. But Kalam senses it. He's like, it doesn't feel like pressure. It just feels like a little bit of pressure. It doesn't feel pain. And then it's gone again.
Scrapes his little claw against his face. Yeah. Yeah.
It like marks him. But it heals him.
Yeah.
With its little step there.
So this is a full-on payoff of something that happened back in House of Chains.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you remember this. I didn't. I had to look it up. But it's like he saved this thing in House of Chains, and it pays him back.
Dog.
Yeah.
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 Awesome.
So cool.
A
so
life
cool.
for a life.
Yeah.
Very awesome. And then what Quick Ben sort of further extrapolates from like the sense that he gets of like wolf energy abound, is that the fight's not with the parish. They are being manipulated. They are fanatics, but they are not fighting against us. They're just fighting for destruction, as you pointed out earlier.
Yeah.
And if they fight them, the dogs are going to come kill them all.
Yeah.
We cannot be killing the parish. We are just here for the Fortress Hill.
We don't want to fall into this trap. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. So then we pop back over to Arikala. So, you know, they're on that side. They were like, hey, did you notice that another hold manifested in the camp last night? They're like, yeah, that's weird. He's like, well, you can't have this many Greyhelms praying all in one place and not have that manifest in some way.
Mm-hmm.
So we like literally pulled the attention of other elder gods to this place. It seems bad.
Not just so great.
Yeah. And they're like, why are these other Malazans here? There's Malazans on both sides, because he's like, did Lacine make this grand plan?
Mm-hmm.
So cool how everybody's, you know, all of these kind of coincidences or, you know, lucky accidents, basically. Everybody's, you know, attributing to some greater
machinations.
Yeah.
There's also, I think we're starting to see the initial, you know, those seeds of the plan of like getting Malazans everywhere.
Yeah.
Of them being like, what?
Yeah.
Like that initial confusion. It's sort of like some of those dominoes look like they're hitting the right places in a way that's cool.
So then we have this extended sequence with the munitions. This is what you wanted to get to, where Perrin is, you know, he's like giving this speech, and he's like, "Why aren't these sappers into me?
I thought they were gonna hoot and holler.
I usually rule at these speeches. People love me, but these guys are just standing there. He's like, anyway, well, we got these munitions, and they're like, bombs, and they start literally like this dude starts crying. He's like, I get to blow some shit up. Oh, it's beautiful.
I just love that he's like in the middle of his speech and then just pauses, and he's like kind of looking at them like something's weird, and he's like, hey, you go look at that guy's face, report back to me. Go look at the most grizzled dude, the dude who looks like the most hardened sapper maniac out there, and come back and tell me what you see. And he like goes and like looks at him and comes back, he's like, yeah, he's crying.
In my head, my visual in my head is like this, you know, this kind of burly sapper, you know, with mud, with dirt all over his face. Yeah, standing there, stone faced, and like this guy like coming up and like looking right in his face, like, oh yeah, look, there's a tear right there.
Yeah, there's so many ridges on your face that I can see it, the specular glistening.
So funny. Oh man.
He's like, oh, okay, cool. Well, and he goes, these are the good ones. And then privately, I forget who he's talking to. He's like, I got the big boys in a special Warren.
Well, I got these ones that the Moranth don't even sell. This is the good shit. This is like the private reserve. You know, This is the Moranth won't even, like, they'll give us sharpers and burners. You know,
they got cussers.
Yeah, sure, they'll go boom. But when the Moranth got the real big stuff that they don't give to just anybody, guess who got it? This guy with the thumbs. I forgot
what they called it. The red.
Yeah, it's like the red stripe or the red bolt. I think that's what it is.
Yeah.
And then there's a whole thing that I feel like I should know, or maybe as a reference to another, maybe it's an Ian C. Esselmont book that we don't know. But the guy holds up like a symbol on his hand of the red bolt.
Well, what I was pretty sure is that Perrin was like, I put it in a Warren that I can access with a card. And they're like, and what did the card look like again? He's like, yeah, it looks like this. And it's got the red bolt. And they're like, cool. And then later, all the sappers who were like, these are just like burners and sharpers. Where's the big booms? Where's the good stuff? I think it was revealed that they knew that Ganuz was doing some kind of something with these cards, pressured the artist or the toad who works with the artist, because the artist is always abusing the toad to give them all the details about the card. So they feel like they roughly drew it up themselves so that they got access themselves to that. I'm
so glad you explained that, because I did not catch it. I couldn't figure out what had happened, but I think you're absolutely right. They're talking about how like we were torturing the toad and telling him we're going to kill the toad unless he does it. He's like, no, he liked us that he was happy that we were torturing his toad. And so literally they like basically steal the key to the Warren. That
Yeah.
is exactly what happened. I did not catch that, but that's brilliant. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love
And
that.
so he has the symbol on his hand because he's like, did it? Yeah. Well, can you just describe it for me? Great.
Yeah.
Just checking. It looked like he was checking his notes to me about whatever the thing is so that they could get in and get the big stuff, which they use immediately.
Oh, amazing. So we have this incredible description of the carnage that is wrought when they start blowing everything up. And, it's just this, bodies being obliterated. And they're like, stop. It's not what you're supposed to. We're not supposed to be killing the parish. We don't want to be killing. Stop. And they're like, but we got so many more bombs. This is all going great.
Wait, you think we don't have to stop? No, we got tons of resources here. There's a couple things that happen because they killed the pure. It's now the watered and the shriven. They're scattered. They don't have enough control over the shriven to really make them tighten up and be willing to like throw their bodies into just danger objectively. They have like these tiers of like protection on this sort of hillside, so they're like really working uphill, and they have like a bunch of spears like, try and come up here, good luck, buddies. Because they're in this place that is devoid of magic, they're not expecting these people to be able to use magic, but of course they don't have magic, they have bombs, which to other people looks like sorcery, and so they just sort of immediately like nuke the first row, nuke the second row. Meanwhile they're like, what is happening? How are they moving? Like they're blowing up so much of the side of the slope that the wall that is built on top that everybody else is like, we're safe up here, is like shaking and falling apart, and eventually they literally topple off of the wall. They're deafened, and they just sort of handily make their way, pressing the advance.
Incredible. But also, like, you're like, oh, they went too far. I love how that they win the day, but it's like we weren't supposed to. We didn't want to murder all those people.
They're like, we got the red bolts, and they're like, we're only shooting them at the wall. And he's like, I can tell that that's not true. And he's like, we promise we're not shooting them past the wall. I can guarantee you there's no way we're shooting them past the wall. Meanwhile, it's just cut from a scene where they're definitely shooting it past the wall. Because even, I forget if it's before or after the speech, Quick Ben kind of, Paran goes back to his tent and like pulls the peg out of the ground.
Pulls it back soon.
Pulls it back. Well, it pulls it back too late. So that like Quick Ben and Kalam are on their way back from the tent that they blew up, and they've like successfully made it back across the wall, and are like walking over to the tent, and then he's like shatoink, and like the balls come and clack together, and that pulls them back through and has like an explosion of dust out of Paran's tent. And
it's like, we were on our way back anyway. You didn't have to do that.
And both of them are like, oh, we're so sick. It like made them feel horrible in order to use it. Very cool. But I forget those order of events exactly. But there's just obvious evidence that they've definitely been bombing places they should not have been bombing and taking out people.
I love this, that the sappers are such sickos that they just love blowing stuff up so much. It literally brings a tear to their eye that they get to. And then they're like, we're not going to just be content with those little grenades. We want the big, awful, horrible stuff. And then we're going to use it. We don't care what you say. We're going to use that stuff.
You think I want to just hold it in my hand? No, that's the scary part.
Yeah.
No, I want to see it go boom.
I want to see it go boom. These are the real sickos. So then we have this amazing scene where Quick Ben and Kalam go out to the center of the battlefield to meet with Arikala to sort of negotiate a surrender. And Quick Ben's like, I don't know what to say. And Kalam's like, I got this. I got this.
I was like, you're going to let this guy do the talking? Okay.
Oh, so amazing and harrowing and relevant. And dude, just the like, so this is the new way of fighting. This is how it's going to be from now on. Humans are going to blow shit up. So, time to surrender. All the animals are going to die, and the last animal standing is us, and we're just going to blow it all to kingdom come.
And we're the most violent animal. So
that's right.
Do you want to stop, or do you want us to kill everything? Because we will.
It won't end. It will never end.
Oof.
Dude, if that isn't accurate.
Too real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Arikala's like, We surrender. We surrender. And
Yeah.
Quickpen's like, how did you know to say that? And he's like, I calls them as I sees them. So then the final thing of chapter 22 is Carabas like just ripping through dragons, tearing them to shreds in the air. But there's just an unending storm of dragons. And she is in this situation where she's like, I know all these storm of dragons are sort of going to combined almost gruntle treach style into Tiam, into the Uber dragon.
Yeah.
And then it's all over. And it's more of that, like, I didn't want this. What am I doing? I just want to be, can we just be friends?
Even with Tiam, she's like, Mother, are you going to save me?
Yeah.
Are you going to kill me?
Yeah.
Yeah. And like the action of that flying through the air, I clawed one in half. I bit through one's skull. I body slammed one by diving fast enough to hit it and slammed it into the ground and then took off. Like the action of the dragon fight in the sky is so dope.
Yeah. And just she's just getting shredded too. Like her wings get torn up, and it's like she's only flying by pure force of will at this point. It's like crazy.
She blew into hell.
So that's chapters 21 and 22. We have 2 chapters left. Again, not sure when we will be able to post the next episode, but stay tuned because we're excited about it. We want to do it right. We will do it right.
And as you can tell, even with this, I feel like there's any of these scenes that I want to just step through the action and do these things. And we're like button up against time. And
true. We don't want that to be the case. We don't want that to be the case. All right.
I have 3. Definitely we share one of them.
Well, I think I have the first part and you might have the second part.
Maybe. I have a single sentencer that I can kick us off with.
Okay.
When wisdom drips blood, fools stand triumphant.
Man. Is that one of the Gothos Folly ones?
That's a great question. I
think it might have been. Anyway, it doesn't matter, but it's a great line. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So good. So good. I think this might lead right into you have I knew a man who studied fossils, right?
I do have that.
Okay, so I have the section that leads right into that. So I'll go and then you can go.
Okay.
Where does it start? Hang on a second. Oh yeah. Above all, the greatest pressure he felt, the one force which neither the strength of his legs nor the stolid stubbornness of his will could withstand, was that of immense, devastating loneliness. Into death we step alone. Our last journey is made in solitude, our eyes straining, our hands groping. Where are we? We do not know. We cannot see. It was all he needed. It was all anyone needed. A hand to take ours. A hand reaching out from the gloom to welcome us, to assure us that our loneliness, that which we knew all our lives and so fought against with each breath we took, that loneliness has at last come to an end, making death the most precious gift of all. 1,000 sages and philosophers had closed desperate fingers about the throat of this one thing, even as they recoiled in horror or, with a defiant cry, leapt forward. Tell us, please, show us your proofs. Tell us oblivion has a face, and upon it the curve of a smile, the blessing of recognition. Is that too much to ask? But this, he knew, was the secret terror behind all faiths. The choice to believe, when to not believe invited the horror of the meaningless. All these lives empty of purpose, all these hopes relinquished, dropped from the hand, left to sink in the thick mud, with slits raining down until everything is buried.
I knew a man who studied fossils. He had made this pursuit his entire life. He spoke with great animation about his need to solve the mysteries of the distant past, and this guided his life for decades, until, in a confession written the night he took his own life, he finally spoke of the truth he had at last discovered. I have found the secret. the one secret that is the past. The secret is this: there are more life forms in the history of this world than we could ever imagine, much less comprehend. They lived and they died, and what little remains tells us only that they once existed. And therein hides the secret, the terrible secret. It's all for nothing. Nothing but fragments of bone. All of it for nothing. I continue to pull the quote for like another page if you want me to keep going.
You can go.
Easy enough to understand how this could have unleashed the black dogs when comprehension yielded only a vast abyss. But then Brees found a familiar face rising before him, there in his beleaguered moments or dream world, whichever this was, Tehal, and that look in his eyes that one might see the moment before he spat in the face of every god that ever existed, only to then move on to the dour mendics and philosophers and wild-haired poets. Damn them all, Brees. No one really needs an excuse to give up on life, and all the ones you hear you might as well pluck out of a hat. Surrender is easy. Fighting is hard. Brother, I remember once reading about deadly swords that in the moment of war would howl with laughter. What better symbol of human defiance than that? Sure, Brees, I remember that bone collector. He got it all wrong. With that secret he discovered, he had a choice: despair or wonder. Between the two, which would you choose? Me, I look at the idiocy and the futility of existence, and how can I not wonder? Every creature dies, brother. You should know. I'd wager that each and every one of those creatures set out into the darkness, soul crouched and timid, not knowing what waited ahead. Why should us smart animals be unique? Death levels us with the cockroaches and the rats and the earthworms. Faith is more than turning our backs on the abyss and pretending it's not there, Brees. It's how we climb up above the cockroaches. Top of the ladder, lads. And even those 7 rungs make all the difference. 8? 8 rungs then. Up here, gods can finally see us, right? Remember that other sage who said the soul is carried from the body by maggots? Crush a maggot, kill a soul? And damn, but they'd have to crawl far, so the gods gave them wings to carry them up into the heavens. Makes for a strange illogical theory, don't you think?
Pretty good.
Tehal, that's my boy.
As I said, I'm stealing Surrender is Easy, Fighting is Hard. Just fair warning to Mr. Erikson. Stealing it. It's too good. My last thing is just a quick two-liner. It's Quick Ben and Kalam talking about Manala. And he's like, but you guys love each other. And he says, it's not love that's the problem. It's all the rest. And my favorite part about that is that it's not him. It's not Kalam saying the whole thing. Kalam says it's not love that's the problem. And Quick Ben says it's all the rest. He finishes it. He knows. It's the two of them in conversation.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Lovely.
So, all right, folks. I wish I could tell you when we will next see you. Hang in there. I'm sorry. We're sorry. But we will arrive at some point, and then we will get to these last 2 chapters. Big chapters, exciting. The end is here. So we'll see you soon. I hope you have a wonderful holiday. We don't know at what point the episode will land. So either way, have a wonderful holiday, and don't forget the most important part. Through all of it, keep dancing.
When the world's too dark of a place to be, and you need an escape from reality, open up those pages, a sci-fi or fantasy, whatever genre you please. And join a book club, 'cause you won't read it on your own. Join a book club, so you'll be held accountable. It's just a means to an end, but you're doing it with